Hi, my name is JConn, and I'm going to be showing you my blog today. My blog is called JConn Trailer Restorations. JConn Trailer Restorations provides resources and tips for those restoring vintage camper trailers, whether they be young or old. It's just a place where I've gathered resources and knowledge from doing my own trailer restorations, but also from studying other blogs. And it's also a great place for people to come and ask questions and for me to do some research and try and get back to them. I've done some market research for this blog, and the potential market is large. That being because the age of the target market is about 25 years old through about 65. That being is because baby boomers love restoring old cars and old vintage trailers, and they have been doing it for a while, but also there's a new trend where millennials are doing this as well as they try to live more cost efficient or travel more, or the new tiny home trend that is going on. It's hard to estimate the market because of that, because it is something that is trendy but is also something that is old. There aren't really any statistics about it. On Facebook alone, there are thousands of different groups that you can join that have been created for this specific market, and each group has about 5,000 to 30,000 members, and that's in the US alone. Our biggest competition would be Camper to Glamper, This Old Camper, and Little Vintage Trailer. These are vintage trailer blogs. They focus more on glamping, so more on women that have taken trailers and or these old hunting and camping trailers and turn them into more of a diva den or place for them to hang out. So they are taking these old trailers and making them the best versions of themselves. These blogs target baby boomers, but also young adults, like I mentioned before, the millennial generation. What I found is these blogs are more centered towards women. They're kind of frilly in the way that they present things. The trailers are mostly painted pink. Each of these blogs use social media pages well, and most of them have YouTube how-to videos, which helps a lot. But since it is an older generation, they're not really on Twitter, and they don't see the reason for Twitter. JConn Trailer Restorations is targeted towards a newer trailer owners, so more the millennials, or people that are newly retired and looking for a new hobby. They're targeted towards the baby boomers, but also the new millennial glamping wave. It breaks the renovation process down into simple and easy to understand steps. There's no room for confusion because we've gone through it, we've done it before, and we're cost efficient, so we want them to have the cheapest experience that they can creating this new trailer. And now we're going to go over to the blog itself. So here's the blog. Like I said before, the other blogs were more centered towards women, so I wanted to keep this one as simple and minimal as possible so that it wasn't gender specific. We have contact page, where if they have questions, they can email me directly, and I can get back to them about what they may be struggling with their trailer. I have an About Me page explaining who I am, how I got into the trailers, and what trailers I myself are currently working on. I put together an inspiration page which shows where I gather my inspiration for vintage trailers. We've got Facebook pages, Instagram, blogs, YouTube channels, things that I like to look at regularly. And when we go down here, our widgets, you can follow us on Pinterest where we gather ideas, but also follow the process on Instagram. With each of our blog posts, I'm going to start down here at the bottom. We've got, this is our very first one, how to paint a vintage camper. So like I said before, we want to keep it very simple and very easy to understand. And so we break it down into steps, what equipment they're going to need, the process, how long it takes, what's the cheapest. And then when we go up here, we talk about vintage camper rally. So it's not only vintage restoration, but more vintage camper community and how they can get involved with this movement and what they can do. We talk about tips for backing up trailers. This is a big one. If you've never owned a trailer before, this is a skill that you're really going to have to learn. Yeah. So this is my blog. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm excited about it, and I think it's really going to go well. And thanks for tuning in.